As for any, I guess, closing thoughts about the Dragon Quest I remake, the one thing that really feels missing about it, and I'm probably going to have a lot of people disagreeing with me on this, but the one thing that really feels missing to me is all of the windows from the original version. For those of you who haven't played it, everything was in a window. The enemy was in a window, your HP and MP were in a window, your action menu was in a window, the battle log that told you what was going on in combat was in a window. It was really weirdly comfy and cozy, and in the same kind of sense as how I've talked before about how Dragon Quest was really born of tabletop pen and paper RPGs. In those types of games, you would have your stat sheet, your character build, your log of everything that's gone on, like everything in front of you on pieces of paper. And all of the windows that were going around the screen in the original NES versions of Dragon Quest really matched that energy, and I absolutely loved it for that. I understand that they wanted to be more immersive in the setting rather than immersive in the gameplay style with this remake, but it really felt like something was missing there with not having all of these windows on the screen. At the same time, like, I understand Unk is right there in my tags. This could just be Old Man Yells at Cloud. But I really do wish that there was a way to play the HD-2D remakes that way, because it would really just help capture the era, so to speak. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed going back to one of the most important games I ever played as a kid. A lot of it I don't recognize. I don't remember anything regarding Rubus in the original NES version. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah, all respect to Creative Studio 5. They did a great job. And from here, I am kind of flying blind, because Dragon Quest II, Dragon Quest III, I know those games as rentals. I never played them start to finish, so this is going to be a very new experience for me. I loved playing Dragon Quest II and III as rentals, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with them. It was awesome playing that kind of pen and paper format that the first game gave you with a full party. I never played any of them to completion, but I love this remake. New experiences all around, indeed. Before I get started on Dragon Quest II, I just want to take a minute to really sit down and go over the experience that I just went through with Dragon Quest I. When Dragon Quest I first came along, there was nothing else like it available. It was uncharted territory for gaming, because everything in gaming was like either action platformers or puzzle games or beat-em-ups or, you know, anything of that nature. To have a game where you could really sit with it and think and plan and strategize was something entirely different for those who had gotten into gaming as their gaming medium of choice, shall we say. Some people had pen and paper RPGs, and some people had, you know, some people went to arcades, some people were into sports. Dragon Quest was kind of the fusion of the tabletop style of play and video games. And to be able to just sit down and enjoy something like that, like maybe no one else is home at that time, and you could just sit and relax and really lose yourself in the type of pen and paper gameplay setting that you used to have to get 3 or 4 of your friends together and plan things out and write out your character sheets and everything. Don't get me wrong, that's fantastic. That's a type of fun all its own. I would never hate on that. But to be able to get that kind of experience by yourself, like on a chill afternoon, it was extremely peak. To go back and play this remake and to see what they were able to build on the skeleton of the original Dragon Quest, because it was a skeleton. It was not just a proof of concept for Dragon Quest itself, it was a proof of concept for what we would come to know as JRPGs. And because it was so early in the creative process, it was basically the foundation. There wasn't a whole lot to it. We didn't have mini medals in the NES game. We didn't have the stuff with Rubus. I don't even think we had the stuff with the fairies, but I could be wrong about that. They built so much onto that foundation with this remake that I'm really impressed. I am so happy to have this in my library and to be able to go back and play it with all of these quality of life improvements, because there were a lot of things that the original Dragon Quest needed that it didn't have. You couldn't even talk to somebody by just walking up and pressing A. You had to pull up a menu and pick talk off of that menu and hope that they didn't move from where they were standing. There was so much about the original Dragon Quest that was not fully thought out yet. I've already given my torch rant about the whole torch and light mechanic, where if you would go into a dungeon, you needed to expend an item so that you could see in front of you to get around. And using a torch didn't even show you the whole screen. It showed like 5 squares in front of you, 3 squares in front of you. It wasn't a lot. If you didn't do that, you were going in completely blind. I'm glad they scrapped that entirely. I am. But it really is timeless. It really is a game that you add a little bit of quality of life, you add a little bit more to the narrative, it still holds up. And I'm not sure how to convey that to someone who's new or someone who's just getting into gaming, but that same person, some maybe Zoomer gamer or Gen Alpha gamer, who knows, they could pick this collection up and have a remarkably similar experience to what we had in 1989. I absolutely love that. Getting to play it now, well into my 40s, I really felt like that 8-year-old. I felt like that kid who was hanging out at the neighbor's place one day and saw this completely different concept of gaming from anything that I had played up to that point. And this time it was presented through a very modern lens, but the experience is largely the same. And that they were able to keep all of that intact while having to add so much and having to improve so much. I have a lot of respect for this studio. I do.